congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's find out a little bit more about you. So what made you want to start your own marketing business?
So I've been doing marketing for over 10 years. I studied it at university and I get it and I love it. At school I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And then when I came across a marketing and media degree and I'd had a little taste of it at school in business studies, I just got it. I just understood it and I loved it and I wanted to explore it. So I went off to uni, did my degree, and then I've worked in marketing ever since. And the role that I enjoyed the most was when I was working for a marketing agency and I had between 15 and 20 different clients, B2B and B2C, and I just learned so much and I had so many different challenges and I had to explore different ways of marketing that work for different companies, and it just all stemmed from there really. I went on to do more corporate roles in bigger companies, but when I decided I was going to start my own business, I wanted to go back to doing what I was doing at that company when I was working for the marketing agency.
Flamingo Marketing Strategies, that's quite a unique name. How did that come about?
Well, when I was lying in bed trying to think of a business name, I hadn't really got much inspiration. And then I looked over to my left-hand side where this little card was sitting that I'd got from a colleague from my previous role that said on the front, "Be a flamingo and a flock of pigeons." And inside she said some really lovely things, but at the end she said something like, "Keep being the flamingo." And when I was thinking about what I'd like to do for my clients when I start this marketing business, I did think, well, it's all about helping people to stand out. So being the flamingo in a flock of pigeons, that's where the idea came from. But the decision to stick to only working with one company from each industry so they really could stand out and they really could be the flamingo in a flock of pigeons, it all just sort of fell into place.
So running a business can be quite a whirlwind. Tell us one of your highlights.
Okay, so there's been lots of highlights. It's been an amazing first year, but I think the one that stands out to me the most is about 3.5 to 4 months into running the business. I ended up in the position where I was full and I couldn't take on any more work, so I could focus on the clients that I'd already got. And that, when you're a new business, is great when it comes to giving you confidence and being sure that you're doing the right stuff. Clearly, the referrals and the word of mouth, we're getting more inquiries in, and it was just a really positive place to be. And I think what was even more interesting was the people that were on the waiting list were happy to wait. There's so many marketing agencies, companies around that anybody could go and work with. So I think that in itself speaks volumes, and it's just been it was an amazing highlight for me.
So it's fantastic that you've grown so fast in the past 12 months. What is the biggest lesson you have learned?
Okay, so the biggest lesson I've learned, and it's probably not so much a lesson learned, but it's something that I probably didn't realise to this extent, that you need to treat every client differently and their business and their approach. You can't cookie cutter a marketing strategy. It has to be built on understanding and learning and educating yourself about the clients and what they do and what they're trying to achieve. So I think one thing that I've really learned over the last 12 months is how different clients can be. The way that they are with me, their approach, their strategy, the way they like to communicate. Everybody's different. So I think the biggest lesson I've learned, and I would share with anybody, is do not treat two people or two businesses the same.
Have you had any surprises along the way?
I think, a couple of surprises really. The first one is that I would class myself as a marketing expert when it comes to B2B. B2C, I have had B2C clients in the past, but it was not really my go-to area. However, I have taken on a couple of B2C clients and the results of their campaigns have been fantastic. So I think I've surprised myself in the fact that I've sort of pigeonholed myself up to this point as B2B only. But the reality is that with the right product or service and an understanding and taking the time to learn, I can operate in the B2C marketing space. And the other surprise, I think, I have realised that I am 10 times, 20 times more driven and passionate about this than I realised when I started the business. The late nights, working the weekends, always putting my clients and the businesses first, that I think I've surprised myself with the level of dedication that I've put into this. But I love what I do and my clients are great, so I don't have any regrets so far.
How is it adapting from working for a large organisation to having your own business?
At first it was quite hard because I was used to being around lots of people, but then once I got into the flow of things and I was going out to meet clients regularly and working from their offices, it wasn't so bad because I feel like now I'm part of their team, so I go to their Christmas parties and I still go to some networking meetings, so I'm seeing lots of people, and now my business is starting to grow as well. My own internal team is growing, as well as the number of suppliers or companies that I work with on different projects. So yeah, at first it was quite hard, but now it's absolutely fine.
What's the best thing about having a business?
Oh, there's lots of great things about having a business, but I'm gonna have to say it is the freedom that everybody talks about. It's the fact that if I want to work till 10, 11 o'clock at night to get something done, I can. If I want to take an afternoon off to enjoy some nice weather or go somewhere for the weekend, I can. But also freedom in a sense of that I don't have to answer to anybody. I don't have anybody telling me how I should do things. If I think the way I'm doing it is the right way to do it, I'll try it. If it's a mistake, it's my mistake and I'll learn from it. So I think there's lots of great things about having a business, but it really is about having the freedom that everybody talks about when they start their own business.
And if you're having a bad day, what do you do?
Well, if I'm having a bad day, the chances are I'm letting things get to me because I'm hungry. So the first thing I do is either go to the fridge or go to the chocolate cupboard. But if it's something a little bit deeper than that, I try to move away from whatever it is that I'm working on, what's upsetting me or annoying me or frustrating me, and move on to something else, or just take myself away for 20 minutes, half an hour, go and sit somewhere different, look at something different, and then I pick it back up. But like I said, it's normally food that I need, and then I'm absolutely fine again.
Who is your biggest inspiration?
It's going to have to be my parents, as cliche as it sounds, and it's not because of the whole I want to thank my mum or my dad. It's nothing like that. They have ran their own business for years and an accountancy practice, and now they're both retired and they're getting to enjoy the things that they wanted to do, the golf, the fishing, the socialising. And throughout my whole childhood, they've worked really, really hard, and they've been able to provide great things, lovely things, nice holidays, weekends away and things like that for us. But they've also shown us the commitment, working late, putting us to bed and then working into the evening. And I think that for me as now a business owner myself shows me that you can have it all, but you have to work hard and play hard, and you have to find that balance. And so that's really my goal with Flamingo, to be able to do both and do it as well as my parents did.
If you didn't have a career in marketing, what would be your second choice?
Well, as I did marketing and media as a degree, I think the obvious choice would have been media. I'd have probably gone down the videographer or photography, something creative. However, if I was going to scrap what I learned at university and go somewhere completely different, it would have to be something to do with caring for people, either a carer or a nurse or a children's nurse, at a school or a nursery. I think that would where I'd end up going, just because I love looking after people, although I'm quite emotional and I do get attached, so probably not the best choice. Probably a good job I stuck with the marketing.
With you being extremely busy, how do you relax away from work?
Well, when I'm not in lockdown, I normally am rehearsing. I like to perform musical theatre. I should have been doing All Shook Up, the musical, recently, and obviously that's been moved. So yeah, I like to rehearse and get on stage and be around my friends. I also love socialising, going out for meals, going to the cinema, going to the theatre, obviously. But I think at the minute, whilst I'm now in this lockdown period that we are in, my go-to is reading and watching Grey's Anatomy. I was very late to the party. I'm on season 4, but it's absolutely fantastic. So at the moment, that is how I'm choosing to relax.